Uh, Thank you very much for coming. As lady said, my name is Łukasz, and today I'm going to tell you the story of how we became the UA-driven company, how we started with organic traffic, and what lessons we could take out from our path. So who are we? We are reality games. We are the mobile game developer, and we create games based on the big data and real world events. And our game Land or Go is the biggest geolocation game on the market. Before I move forward, let me tell you very quickly what I'm going to be talking about. So first, I will tell you about the organic traffic, yes, how important it was for us at the very beginning. Then I will tell you how we were preparing our campaigns and about how we took the decision to start UA. Then I will move to the risks of testing. Then I will tell you more about our approach to UA and how it is important to have that realistic approach. Then cash flow, prioritization, a little bit about modeling, and at the very end, very important, without creatives, we wouldn't be able to do any UA. How did we start? All of you experienced coronavirus pandemics. Yes, everyone had to stay at home. In many countries, when you went outside, you could risk to get a ticket from the police. And what did we do? We decided to launch a new game and invited people to go out. Yeah, so our game depends on going outside, buying real estate in real locations, and yes, that was a crazy idea. But fortunately, it paid off. We had really a lot of organic traffic. It appeared that we had a lot of attention from news. We had more than 1,500 different publications in the news, on the TV, in radio. We had a lot of traffic. And this allowed us, thanks to our analytics team, we could start understanding our LTV in different countries. And organic traffic brought us a lot of good users, like a fan base. We had really a lot of it, and we could, yes, it brought a lot of value, but it's not everything, yes? At some point, you have to take that decision and go bigger. When you want to grow, you have to start UA. So this is the first lesson that we had. You cannot rely only on organic growth. You have to start UA. And our decision to start was under pretty heavy pressure from the expectations from our product teams. We had also pressure to start the campaigns before the season ends. And unfortunately, we did not have enough analysis on the product. We did not have enough data, and we did not conduct the real soft launch. And the results, as you can see, were great up to the D14. Unfortunately, it flattened very quickly, and our company was not really ready for this kind of scenario from the cash flow point of view. But we didn't give up. Yes, we decided to go this way, so we took different approach. And we started from analyzing our LTV. We started understanding it. We started to check how it changes per purchase. And after we could have this knowledge, we started with some test campaigns. We were checking if the conversions are right. We're checking if all the attribution tools work correct, and if and how this attribution data corresponds with our business intelligence. It all worked well, so we decided that we can go for CPA campaigns. And our initial idea, initial structure, was to put the English-speaking countries like United States and Great Britain together in one campaign, one big campaign. We grouped together German-speaking countries as well. Then we set all tier 1 markets together, and also we set up the worldwide big campaign with all the rest of the world. And after that, if everything works, we had that core that worked well, we could begin with more international campaigns. Of course, as you know, not everywhere CPA campaigns work because of the scale. Yes, you need to have bigger country in order to even start this kind of campaigns. So what we did, we tried as much as possible, of course, we tried to group them together. Yes, so you have an example of campaign in Czech Republic and Slovakia. You have here Hong Kong and Macau, and this way we could make that scale bigger. And with, of course, right results, we could move forward with the bigger scale. We could go bigger, and the lesson here is that if you are right prepared, you have better results. And of course, yes, our beginnings were not very easy, but we had to start somewhere, yeah, at some point. Further on, yes, when we had all those CPA campaigns, when we had that core that could earn enough ROAS, so it could cover some more tests and more campaigns, we started testing different campaigns based on events, on the events on the game, in the game, and as usually, some work better in different countries. Yes, so here we have the campaign based on the buy skill. It's one of the events in our game. It's one of the features in our game where you can buy some extra skill thanks to the coins. And this happens so often that we could make it as a conversion. We also tested different setting of time. Yes, so we have here rewarded based. The rewarded video-based campaign, 20 views in 7 days. We have also 20 views in 4 days, 20 views in 3 days. And here, let me show you some different strategies that we set for different campaigns. Here in the right upper corner, there is a buy skill campaign that I mentioned before. We also do some TROAS campaigns, but these kind of campaigns are very costly because the initial cost just to start a campaign is at least $1,000. Yeah, so this is a good campaign for bigger markets, yeah, because they need also very big scale. Here you can see also the setting for the 20 watched ads in 3 days. As I mentioned, we tried many different settings, 3, 4, and 7 days. We also target people on vacation. What does it mean? It means that, for example, if German people or French people go somewhere for vacation, we target them not by location, but by the language. I mean, the location, we try to predict where they are going for vacation, and then we set up, let's say, if German people go to Greece, we set up the Greece as location, and language German. And AdROAS campaigns are also based on number of the ads viewed by our users. So here, second please. Here's an example of how we choose the bidding strategy. As I said before, we have a lot of events in the game, and our model is based on 50% ads and 50% in-app purchases. So let's say that we take the predictor based on the number of conversions. In this case, we have the number of watched ads. And if we take the number of in-app purchases and divide it by the number of watched ads, then we can have this kind of countries like United States of Germany, where those in-app purchases, there are a lot of them. Yes, so obviously we would go for CPA campaigns targeted on the in-app purchases. In case of countries like the green ones, yes, you can see here that this is a good example of a country where we can go for ad-based campaigns or some different models as well. And we have also the red countries, which completely, we don't expect any in-app purchases from those countries, then we just go for ad-based campaigns. Why do we put so much effort in it? First, different strategies work in different countries. Also, different strategies help us to find the balance between the good quality of user and the price, yes, of that users in different on different markets. Also, as I mentioned before, CPA campaigns work good when they have big scale. Yes, so not everywhere we can do it. And also, this kind of approach allows us for better control, better management, and localization, yeah, which is also very crucial. Every day morning, in the morning, 8 o'clock, I set alarm. It sometimes wakes me up, and then I check the report. Our custom report, thanks to our analytics team, we can measure the behavior of our cohorts based on D1, D7, D14, and so on, daily based, weekly based, monthly based, so we can have the different scope. We can see it from the bigger picture and also detail as well. Thanks to that, we can see that some campaigns have faster short-term ROAS, and they flatten in time, and some completely opposite. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have that core, that those campaigns that can earn already profitable ROAS, then you can start testing, because testing brings risk in the short term, but it also brings a lot of added value in long term. That's the third lesson. Our approach to UA is to focus on the smaller number of sources and go deep within them. What does it mean? It means that we try to understand in detail how our sources work. We have better control, and as I mentioned before, also better localization. So here are our UA activities in April. You can see that we started a lot of LGO is our Learn Go game. We do a lot of iOS campaigns on Unity. And most of our budget goes for Google Ads. Well, just 1% more, yeah. but it's changing. We can see here that another game, Landlord Tycoon, looks a little bit different. We have most of our budget goes for the Google. Yes, so our approach to ROAS and our approach to UA, we try to make it realistic. Yes, what does it mean? It means that we have to consider our genre of our game, and it is really hard to expect that we get 100% ROAS in 30 days from, let's say, RPG game. And if you have this kind of expectations, if you have this kind of numbers, it means that you leave a lot of money on the table. Yes, and also we look at it free-to-play games. We have to look at it from the point of view of the scale. Yes, we look more at earning 10 cents from 1 million users rather than $2 from 1,000 users. Also, high ROAS, if you have high ROAS on $10,000 spent, it doesn't mean that you will have exactly the same results when you spend $500,000. So it is important to be realistic. That's the fourth lesson. Remember about your cash flow. The amount of ROAS that you get, it doesn't mean the same on your account later when you get your money. Yes, so for example, also the same ROAS on in-app, yes, in-app purchase and ads means also something different because there is no provision on ads from Google. Yes, so you have to take that in mind. Also, for us, it's very important to understand the difference between spend and the money that is coming from that spend. Yeah, so, for example, the LTV is changing, and it can very highly influence your model. Also, adding new traffic, new source of traffic. Although it has the same ROAS at the end, it has different structure. And also it's important for us to look at the differences between the yearly approach and real cash flow. Yes? So for example, if you spend money on a new attribution tool, or if you want to create new ads, it all has to happen in a certain time. Yes, you have to plan it well, or you might have some troubles with your cash flow. So that's the fifth lesson. And later on, when we had already a base on Google Ads, when we took our time and we had some experience, we could start Unity Ads. Here we had kind of slow beginnings, and what was a challenge here is that for Unity Ads, you need money to burn. Yeah, so and also they scale up very quickly. So for us, it was very important to do a lot of tests. We did not take the same approach as in Google Ads at the very beginning. We already were experienced and ready to move to Unity Ads. And what is the advantage for us is that we had very low CPI, below the benchmarks. And that's really big advantage for us. CPI campaigns, what is important about CPI? Why does, I mentioned that you need money to burn, yes? So why is that? Because in order to get ROAS campaigns on Unity Ads, you need to collect data. Actually, the algorithm needs to collect the data. And in order to do that, you need to have 1,000 installs and 10 conversions in the window of 7 days. Yeah, so you can see that we had really a lot of CPI campaigns. But the result of that was that we could have the next step, and very profitable for us, ROAS campaigns. So after that, we could move to Unity ads on iOS. We noticed that there is not much competition because everyone is actually afraid right now to move to iOS because of iOS 14. But what we did, we did some custom reporting. We took under consideration pre-campaign period and after campaign period in order to measure additional insights. Yes, so we can have really good results on iOS. There is one more thing I would like to mention. This is ATT on iOS. And we planned, and actually we started already experimenting with custom screen during onboarding. And I would like to invite you for discussion. Maybe someone has similar experiences. We would like to talk about it, and maybe we can share our insights within this. We would like to implement it, and this is supposed to give us the consent of the new users that come from iOS. Yes, so the lesson here is that with limited resources, you need to prioritize. Yes, so as I said, first we started Google Ads, and after that we could start another source, and maybe in the future we'll also look for another one. This is our plan as well. Be prepared for modeling. Yes, in UA you have to predict what's going to happen. So here is one of our examples with a K factor. So we could have like CPI campaigns that the start point was in some period of time, and we took another period of time where it ended, and we were calculating the so-called K factor, which is organic traffic influenced by the campaigns. And in Poland, it appeared that we had 28% extra organic traffic, which brings us to another aspect, boost to organic traffic. We can manage with some certain actions, like for example, we do it on iOS. We set up campaigns that put us on top of ranks in stores, in a Apple store, and thanks to that we get a lot of good traffic. It's added value. It's so-called traffic for free, which everyone likes, of course. Yes, so be prepared for modeling. There are a lot of unknowns, but we have to try to predict them. And the last topic, importance of creatives, and here is an example how just simple change of creatives can influence your campaigns. So here we have Poland. We see here that the number of installs grew immediately, and here we have also an example that sometimes the change also influences the cost per install. In this case, it went even lower for some time. And also different creatives appeal to different audiences. Yeah, so we have YouTube, people who watch ads on YouTube. We have people who come from different networks. But yes, we can see that in our case, video ads work really, really well. Let me tell you something about our approach to creating new video ads. So if you have a challenge with the performance, you can put focus on creatives. In our case is that we have some variable parts of the ad. For example, in this case, we have 5 to 10 seconds of introduction. Then we also change the content, the voiceover. But there's the main message that always stays the same. And also we change the end screen. Yes, so it's very easy for us to just replace some parts of the ad. Some parts stays the same, and this works well for us. Right creatives, what does it mean? Localization, everyone knows what is localization, but how about culturalization? Yeah. At the very beginning, we're just changing the text on our ad. But later on, we also started changing the characters. Yeah, it's very important for people in certain places. Actually, I also like when someone from the ad of very famous brand speaks to me in Polish language. Also, the right texts are very crucial. Yes, a lot of people cannot see the video. Yes, because for many reasons they get ads from, let's say, just text. Yeah, and it's very important to have it translated and have it well written so it can appeal to the audience. Yeah, so we have also the approach to the stores side of of the creatives. We have a process that helps us to localize listings for many countries with minimum effort. And here is an example of Indonesia. We do some A/B testing. Here is the old one, here is the new one. You can kind of see that there's not much difference. Yeah, the colors are the same, but it appears that small differences can have great results, because from the same amount of people that came to the store, we can expect more installs. Here is an example of Brazil. We have also the same results. In Korea, the results were tremendous. Yeah, it was really great to see 44% of increase. And unfortunately, it not always works. Yes, as always, in certain countries it doesn't work. But yes, it's worth trying. But then we can just leave the old one. That works well. So you can put strong focus on creatives. That's another lesson that we learned. And the final one, let me repeat them for you. So we learned that you cannot rely only on organic growth. You have to start UA sometime if you want to scale up. If you are prepared well, you can count on better outcome. Testing brings a lot of risks, but at the same time, it brings more value in time. It is important to be realistic, yes, not to dream. Remember about your cash flow. With limited resources, you need to prioritize and be prepared for modeling. You have to predict what is going to happen. And the last one, creatives, very important. Without creatives, we wouldn't be able to do anything. Thank you very much. And before I finish, there's one more thing I would like to tell you. We are going to develop a new game, Monopoly. So if there's anyone who is interested and would like to do it with us, welcome. It would be very nice to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Maybe do you have any questions?
We are doing also the Apple search ads. first we focus on those, yes, but we are planning to test new ones. Yes?
Which tool you use from measuring this all statistics at the beginning, not the latest version, but at the beginning when you were starting the whole process of the UA and everything? What do you use to measure everything? Like, what would you recommend?
This is actually a question to our analytics team. They do really great job, and if you have question, you can ask that gentleman there, Adam.
Answer right away if you want. Like we have an MMP partner. We're currently working with Java. We have some experience with Ajax as a supplier, and then we have all of the data with our custom events from Java and also from our hosted events. It's everything loaded via Firebase to BigQuery, so on GCP platform, on Google platform. We have everything, and then our analytics team calculate the ROAS, the revenue, the retention, and give it back to Łukasz, to Mariusz, and their team to check how the campaigns are progressing and how are they, what KPIs they have. So this is like the process that we have. If you need more information, just reach me out after.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for a cool presentation. I actually have two questions. The first one is, where do you test creatives, or how do you test creatives?
We do it with Unity ads. We do it with Facebook ads, and also we do some A/B testing in store.
All right. And in terms of customization, so culture, damn, that's a hard word. The customization towards country. Don't you have a legacy problem, like you put a sort of old creative in there that actually worked on, let's say, US or some strong market, and you, for example, tried in, I don't know, Poland, and it actually doesn't necessarily work, or in Korea that actually doesn't get spent?
Yes, of course. Of course, we had a lot of this kind of situations, so we have to adapt to different markets. Yes, so actually, Korea is really difficult. Yes, so we put a lot of effort to try different approaches. We have great people who stand behind that and create all the time new creatives, so we can test them on different markets. Yes, I hope I answered your question.
There are no more questions. Thank you very much, Łukasz, for your interesting presentation.
Thank you very much.